Asking to go online?
Yes.
There's a chatting machine.
Yes.
Anyone else here is a Mridanga player? Huh? No? Look like there's somebody else. Can you do my dinner? Somewhere
What's on the board, Lana?
there?
What?
Why not?
Bhagavatam Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Krishna. Very much the church of Sri Śrīmad. It's by grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, also Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Nama Charja Vikas ki jai. Krishna ki jai. Shishi Gori Time Ki. All glories is Krishna. All glories is Krishna. All glories is Krishna. All glories of glories of glories of glories to Shishi Gauranga. All glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna Vasudevaya Devaki Nandayaya
Chapter 31. Chapter is entitled Narada Instructs the Chaitanyas. Today we'll be reading texts 29, 30, and 31. If you have listened to the word, please repeat after me. Vidura Uvacha Soya Mahayogin Bhagavata Karulatmana Shastam Saparo Shastam Saparo Trakin Chango Hari Chango Hari Bhagavata Karulatmana Shastam Saparo Trakin Chango Hari Vidura Kivacha Soya Madhya Mahayogi Bhagavata Karulatmana Shivasama Aro Chango Hari
Vidura Uvacha
Vidura
Uyam Adya Mahayogin Bhagavata Karulatmana Sutastamasaha Paru Trakinchana Gobhari Viduravacha Soyamadhya Mahayogin Bhagavata Karulatmana Sitastamasa Paro Yatra Kinchana Gohari Viduravacha Soyamadhya Mahayogin Bhagavata Karulatmana Shitastamasaparo Trakinchana Gohari
Approachable by the materially free. I repeat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport of the Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Shri Vidura said, O great mystic, O greatest of all devotees, by your causeless mercy, I have been shown paths of liberation from this world of darkness. Following this path, a person liberated from the material world can return home back to Godhead. The material world is called Tamaha, dark, and the spiritual world is called light. The Vedas enjoin that everyone should try to get out of the darkness and go to the kingdom of light. Information of that kingdom of light can be obtained through the mercy of a self-realized soul. One also has to get rid of all material desires. As soon as one frees himself from material desires and associates with a liberated person, the path back to home, back to Godhead, is clear. Text number 30. Shri Shuka Vacha Janamyatam Amantra Viduro Gaja Sampayam Sadhu Vishnu Prayayo Radhyanam Nirutashaya. Translation. Shukadeva Swami continued. Vidura thus offered obeisances unto the great sage Maitreya, and taking his permission, started for the city of Hastinapur to see his own kinsman, although he had no material desires. When a saintly person wants to see his kinsman, he has no material desire to see him. He simply wants to give them some instructions so that they can benefit. Vidura belonged to the royal family of the Kauravas, and although he knew that all the family members were destroyed at the Battle of Kurukshetra, he nonetheless wanted to see his elder brother Dhritarashtra, to see if he could deliver Dhritarashtra from the clutches of Maya. When a great sacred person like Vidura sees his relatives, he desires only to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Vidura thus offered his respectful obeisances to his spiritual master and departed for the city of Hastinapur, the kingdom of the Kauravas. Text 31. Etadya Shriyad Rajam Muknam Harya Pitatmanam Ayurdham Yam Swasti Vishvaram Bhaktiya. O King, those who hear these topics about kings who are completely surrendered to the personality of Godhead, obtain without difficulty a long life, wealth, good reputation, good fortune, and ultimately the opportunity to return home back to God. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 31st chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Narada Instructs the Chaitanyas. End of the 4th chapter. End of the 4th canto. Om Gyanatmasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manokisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sarvabhutatam Nati Swavatam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Prabhupada Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Guru Sagana Sadvedam Sadhutam Varijana Senam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Śrīmad Sahaganam Shri Vishakam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jnanake
glories, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Radha, Shri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
It's my great honor and good fortune to be here today in Shri Gornitai Mandir here in ISKCON Brisbane. This is my first time here in this new mandir, and it's so beautiful. It's a sattvic atmosphere, transcendental atmosphere, with the beautiful deities of Shri Gornitai. Finally founding a home that they own here. Of course, they own everything, but here they have an official legal possession of the property. And to see the sun shining through the windows, so it's nice fresh air, and it's quite relatively quiet, and the wonderful, bright, shining, smiling faces of the devotees. It's so wonderful to be there. Thank you so much for having me in Krishna. And before I begin to speak, I also seek the blessings of all the devotees gathered here today. Kripaya Apsal Ashirmad Vijay. Thank you so much. And also seeking especially the blessings of the divine grace, Srila Abhay Chana Bhagavatam, Swami Srila Prabhupada, without whom none of us would be here today. And it's so wonderful to see him also here, seated upon the royal Vyasasan and looking very regal and satisfied in this new environment of ISKCON Brisbane. Our decorations are very nice. Stained glass lamps and lights are beautiful. And I see on the windows also there's some colored glass, and it looks like original glass dating back, I don't know how many years. No?
Over 150.
Over 100 years. It's a historic property. So we read from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, chapter 31, the chapters entitled Narada instructs the Chaitanyas. Today we're reading text 29, 30, and 31 also. So the class today is entitled From Darkness to Deliverance. And it's our story. It's our story of how we were in darkness, and then by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, by the mercy of the spiritual master, we're able to transfer from darkness into light, from ignorance to knowledge, from deeply embedded in our material existence to transcendence. Om Jnana I was born in the darkness of ignorance. Gyananjana Shalakaya, with a magical instrument of mercy, like a scalpel or a spoon. The great surgeon, the great doctor, the great spiritual preceptor has coated my eyes, which were filled with ignorance, with the salve, with the ointment, with the medicine of transcendental knowledge. Rajavidya Rajaguryam Uttam Idam Uttamam Jakshavagam Dharyam Susukha Kartam Avyayam. Knowledge that we have received from our spiritual masters. This is the same knowledge that Lord Krishna delivered to Arjuna. This knowledge is called Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge. Raja Guryam, the king of all secrets. Pavitram, completely pure. Prajakshava Dhamam Dharyam. It can be actually experienced by the senses. It's not just theoretical knowledge. We actually experience it. And that knowledge leads to Susukam Kartam Avyayam. Sukam means happiness. And the prefix su means very much. So very much happiness. Soon, soon, soon. Superman! Super happiness. We have super susukam, super happiness. Kartam avyayam. And that knowledge, that happiness is everlasting. Avyayam. So this spiritual doctor, the wonderful spiritual preceptor, the spiritual master, acts like a doctor to cure us from our material disease and bring us to a healthy spiritual existence. There's a beautiful verse, I'm just trying to remember it, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Das Kaviraj explains, Vaikunya Kita Kalitaha, Paishunya Vrana Pidataha, Dhaiman Me Nimata, Chaitanya Vaidhyam Ashrayam. Krishna Das Kaviraj, he explains, Vaigunya Kita Kalitaha. I'm being bitten by the germs of material existence. Kita means the worms. When people get leprosy, the worms infest their flesh and start eating them alive, start biting them. And it's very, very painful. So Vaigunya Kita Kalitaha, I'm being bitten by the germs of material existence. Paishunya Vrana Pidataha. Paishunya Vrana means that there are boils. Have you experienced pidataha? Boils, there's pus in the body and it's trying to get out and there's so much pressure and it creates a burning sensation and you just want to squeeze and squeeze until the pus comes out and it creates a burning sensation. Paishunya Vrana Pidataha. I'm burning from the boils of envy. This is Krishna Das Kaviraj's statements. Because all of us are envious to some extent. That's why we've come to this material world. We're envious of each other. We're envious of the unliving entities. And we're envious of Krishna. So we're burning from the boils of envy in this material world. Daina ve Vivagno on Daina. Daina means humility. Krishna Das Kaviraj, he says, I'm taking shelter in the ocean of humility. Only by cultivating humility can we overcome the germs biting us of the material existence and the boils burning of envy, only by taking shelter of the ocean of humanity. Dainarni Magno and Chaitanya Vaidyan Ashraye. I take shelter, I surrender to Ashraye, who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Jai.
And he's referred to here as Vaidya. Vaidya means doctor. He's a supreme spiritual doctor. So one day I was with His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in his room in Chopati Mandir in Mumbai. And I had problems at that time. I was having boils. I was burning with boils. So he told me to learn this verse. I said, this verse is your homework. And he said, I also had many boils in the past when I was in New Vrindavan. And he told me that it is said that boils are a Vaishnava disease because it puts you through very fast purification. And he said when he was staying in New Vrindavan, the leader of the community there, that time Kirtananda Swami Maharaj, he called Radhanath Swami Boils Ananda. That was a standing for him. Because he had so many. I also had so many. I had them in my nose, in my ears, in my face, all over my body. But then, in the 10th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 14th chapter, text number 8, Lord Brahma explains. Many of us will know this verse. Tate kampa susabing shaman. Nijana eva katana. Vivati purvir vedadane namaste. Jiveti yo mukti pare sadhayama. The 10th chapter, 10th canto, 14th chapter, text 8. Lord Brahma is explaining, I've done so many terrible things in my previous lifetimes. And I've done so many terrible things in this lifetime. Whatever suffering I'm going through now, my dear Lord, that is your mercy. That is for my purification. And you're only giving me a small token of the suffering I actually deserve. I deserve much worse. And a person who can pray with a grateful heart in this mood, the kingdom of God becomes his rightful claim. So this is very deep theology of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So how do we react to suffering? How do we react to the difficulties that inevitably come in our lives? If we can face these sufferings with a mood of gratitude, seeing it as anugraha, special mercy of the Lord, then the kingdom of God becomes our rightful claim. So we learn this. This is the great teachings of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Expert and thoughtful man, relishing in Bhagavatam, the mature fruits of the desired tree of the Vedic literatures, It emanated from the lotus lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice is already relishable for all, including the liberated souls. So, such good fortune, Srila Prabhupada's life work, waking up every night at 12 o'clock, translating throughout the night to give the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And today we're just completing the 4th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And so many wonderful lessons are there in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, especially in this section we're discussing now. In this section, we're hearing the discussion between Vidura and Maitreya Rishi. And in this session, we're hearing about the Prachetas. The Prachetas, they go as brothers, many of them. There's, how many were there? 1,000? 10. Only 10. Okay. Thank you. Glad I clarified that. So 10 of the brothers, they go and they are performing meditation on the banks of a lake, and they have darshan of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva appears, and there are so many demigods with him, and they're playing instruments and dancing, and it's a big festival. And the Prachetas offer their prayers to him. They offer their obeisances to Mahadev, great Vaishnava, greatest of Vaishnavas, Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he instructs them in the proper prayers to invoke, to chant these prayers. And by chanting these prayers, they're going to have received the mercy of the Supreme Personality of God. So they go deep into the lake, and they begin chanting these prayers, and then they get the darshan of Lord Vishnu riding on the Buddha. And Lord Vishnu says, I'm very pleased with you because of your brotherly and friendly affection for each other in rendering devotional service to me. And because of this wonderful loving dealings that you have together, I would like to offer you benediction that you're going to enjoy in this lifetime. And then you're going to go home, back to Godhead. What a great benediction. Normally we feel to go back to Godhead, we have to do really harsh tapasya, we have to practice brahmacharya, maybe take sannyas. How horrible, right? And we have to do so many tapasyas. So Bishop Dave also says this transcendental tapasya is also required. But Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya has made our transcendental tapasya so enjoyable. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Na chao, gao, kao. That's our whole yajna. Sometimes devotees would come to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, management is so difficult. We have so many difficulties. We're so confused and busy. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, our only business, chanting, dancing, and feasting. Kevala Ananda Kanda. This process is just simply joyful. What is our process? Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Haribo! Last night we went for Harinam Sankirtan in downtown Brisbane, and it was such a blissful experience. People were joining us. People were coming out of the bars in order to dance with us. It was really, really wonderful experience. And we had quite a few children with us. And they were also chanting and dancing with us, enjoying. It doesn't matter if you're young, you're old, rich or poor, happy or sad, you chant, you'll become happy. Like Srila Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
So Lord Vishnu coming and giving these great benedictions to the Prachetas. And he's saying because of the loving dealings, the friendly dealings you have amongst each other. So it behooves us, it will be beneficial for us, it will be advantageous for us if we do everything we can to follow in the footsteps of Prachetas. And we also serve Krishna in a loving and friendly mood together. Dati pratigrinati,
Dati pratigrinati,
Guyamakati prachati,
Guyamakati prachati,
Devo jayate chaiva,
Mukye Gojayate Chaiva,
Gadam Vriti Lakshana.
Gadam Vriti Lakshana.
It's the sixth loving exchange between devotees. Vidati pratigrinati, giving gifts in charity and receiving gifts. Guyam akyati prachati, revealing the mind in confidence and listening confidentially. Bhukte bhujayate chaiva, giving and receiving prashadam. These are the six loving exchanges between the devotees. And we should practice them as much as we can. When I was a sannyas candidate, before I took sannyas, my name was Ekalavindas Brahmacharya. And at that time, and still today, the procedure for taking sannyas in ISKCON is manifold, many different aspects of it. One of them is to travel with senior sannyasis who mentor the new sannyas candidates. So I had the good fortune of being mentored by many senior sannyasis, like His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Chandramoli Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Navayogendra Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Prahladhananda Swami Maharaj, and His Holiness Bhakti Prabhav Swami Maharaj, the second generation sannyas. So I was traveling with all of them, and they were guiding me and trying to help me come to the standard of sannyas. They're still helping me try to come to the standard of sannyas. So I remember being with His Holiness Prahladhananda Swami Maharaj. We were traveling in Poland together. I had to fly there and travel with him for 3 weeks. It's my good fortune. So we were on the train platform in Warsaw, ready to travel to another part of Poland. And I was a little bit intimidated and scared of him. So I was afraid to say anything. So then our train was coming. And I said, okay, now I'm going to say something. So I said, oh, Maharaj, is this our train? And he said, no, this is Krishna's train. So like this, he was taking every opportunity to try to help me become Krishna conscious. And one thing I noted in many of his lectures, that he always stressed the 6 loving exchanges between devotees. And he said that is a sign of an expert devotee, that they're regularly and expertly, daksha, with expertise, engaging in the 6 loving exchanges. It's a constant habit for them. They're constantly engaging in these 6 exchanges. There's one verse, let's see if I can remember it. It's the 5th verse of Upadesh Amrita, which I will chant for you. Krishna Dirshasti Chakran Idischara Chanta Isham Shushrashayam Samuchitas Ninda Vishunyam Vedam Ipsita Sankalata Krishneti Yasya Giritan Manasajiyeta. That we should offer our respects within the mind to any personality who's chanting the holy names even one time. Dikshasti Chetpranati Vishchavachanta Isha. So one who has Diksha, who's worshipping the deity, we should offer our obeisances. Dikshasti Chetpranati Vishpranam. Pranati Vish, we should offer our pranams. Panchanga Pranam, Astanga Pranam. We should offer obeisances to those worshipping the deity. Krishneti Yasya Giridhanman Sadhuyutta. Dikshasti Chetpranati Vishchavachanta Isha. Shushushaya Bhajan Vignam Ananta Anya. For those devotees who are bhajan, they're very expert in bhajan. And nindadi shunya, their tendency to do ninda, to criticize or to blaspheme devotees is shunya. Shunya means zero. For a personality like that, then we should be offering our services to them, and we should seek out their association, love. We should have love. Personalities. So if we apply these principles, it will also help us in the 6 loving exchanges. And anyone we meet who chants Hare Krishna even one time, give respect in the mind. Even these drunk people who came out of the bar last night and accepted a Maha Mantra card from a devotee and tried to chant the Hare Krishna. Respect. What to speak of a devotee who's committed and taking Diksha and is offering regular service to the deity? So much more respect. And then someone who is very, very expert in devotional service, including these 6 loving exchanges. So in order to be considered expert in devotional service, one should become expert in these 6 loving exchanges, giving and receiving gifts, sharing the mind in confidence, healing comprehension, and ultimately giving and receiving prasada. So, good. Well, and continue on. So then the sons of the Prachetas, they come out of the ocean, they come out of the lake, and they're looking for their wife. They were told that they would be given a wife, a daughter of the trees. And they see that the earth has been overgrown with so many trees are there. So they get angry. So using their mystic yogic potencies, fire begins coming out of their mouth, and they begin burning all the trees. Fire is everywhere. The whole earth planet is getting inundated with this fire. And then the trees, they say, please don't burn us anymore. We're sorry for overgrowing everything. Please take our daughter. And they offer their daughter to the Chaitans. So they accept her as their wife, and they live at home for thousands of years, and they develop perfect knowledge. So even in Grahastha ashram, perfect knowledge can be developed. That's why it's called ashram. Ashram means a place of shelter, where one can cultivate spiritual life, spiritual knowledge. So then they have a son, they leave that perfect son with their wives, and they leave home, and they go to the forest, and Narada Muni comes and instructs them. Narada Muni ki jai. Narada Muni jai. So they meditate on the Lord's lotus feet, and they advance towards their final destination, to go back home, back to Godhead. So this brings us to today's verses, 4:31-29. Vidura Uvacha Soyam Adya Mahayogin Bhavata Karunayana Darshikas Hansa Yatra Kinchango. So Vidura is receiving this message from Maitreya. And Vidura says, "Oh, great mystic, greatest of all devotees, by your causeless mercy, I have been shown the path of liberation from this world of darkness. By following this path, a person liberated from the material world can go back home, back to Godhead." So then, next verse today, we discuss verse 30. Shukadeva Goswami continued. Vidura then offered obeisances to Maitreya, and taking his permission, he traveled to Hastinapur. And who was he going to meet in Hastinapur? He was going to meet Dhritarashtra. Why? Because he wanted to preach to him about Krishna consciousness. I think this is an indication I should be closing class. Hare Krishna.
No, it's just the people who are listening online, there's too much reverb from the microphone.
Oh,
So they try and get here.
all right.
Please continue.
Thank you.
Can everybody hear okay?
Yes.
Without?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah, he went to Hastinapur to go and preach to Dhritarashtra. And then the last verse of the whole canto is that those who hear these topics about kings who are completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they obtain without difficulty a long life, wealth, good reputation, good fortune, and ultimately the opportunity to return home back to Godhead. So this is the sum and substance of this section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Are there any questions or comments? I have one question. There's still an internet audience?
Yes.
Which microphone are they using? One on the camera. Okay, so then this can completely go. Yeah. Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Madam. Nice class. So, you're referring to the fifth verse of the method of instruction, where it says, even a person chants one time.
How are they going to hear him?
I have to say loudly. Okay.
Why don't you move this there?
No.
No?
Isn't,
They can hear from the mic.
yeah, that causes reverb as well. You just
Okay. I'll say loudly. Okay, with reference to the letter of instruction, verse 5, where
Yeah.
we say that Rupa Goswami is saying that one who chants even once, and you gave the example of those people who have come. So, in that way, if you look at it, someone all over the world might have chanted or heard Mahamantra at least once. So, technically, we are supposed to give respect to everyone.
So thank you so much for your kind question. If I understand your question properly, you're saying that because we should offer respects to anyone who even chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time, so it must be that everyone in the world has chanted at least one time. So shouldn't we offer respect to everyone? Is that your question? May I ask you a question? On what basis do you provide the information that everyone in the world has chanted Hare Krishna one time?
See, because from like last 50 years, ISKCON, so devotees have gone everywhere. That's my understanding. They have done a lot of harinams. Books have gone to different places. People have come from, I have heard the stories where in the jungles, people, those who are living like tribals, they had a book, somehow they got it. So hearing those things, I have this doubt whether there may be possibility that if not 100%, but many people might have heard and chanted.
So now we're coming from everyone to many people.
Many.
Now I want to again ask you another question. You shared that everywhere, that was your word.
Yeah.
Everywhere, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has been spread. How do you know it has gone everywhere? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I understand. Prepare. Yeah. So again, that even if I say there are places left, means I can still.
Okay, now we're coming to, there are places
again,
left.
many people still there. So
Okay.
when we say, there are some places, devotees might have not gone, but that's very limited number of people. But when we talk about the majority population, which are in cities and the towns, at least those places, the devotees have went with Harinam and devotees have chanted with them. So from there, even though it's many places, not all places, but many places.
Now, just now you said, I'm getting confused a little bit by your, okay. So we're coming down in scope. You started with everyone. You started with everyone everywhere. It's not true. Everyone everywhere have not heard the Maha Mantra. There are some places devotees have not gone. Many places. In fact, from my perspective, and I'm also sharing my perspective, I don't have facts to tell you that exactly 3,936,000 people have chanted in this particular country or not. But from my perspective, the vast majority of the planet is uncovered by the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And I'm the ISKCON Kirtan minister, so I'm seeing what's happening. When His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, he created a website in which the places where there was Harinam, there was like a little flag. And that was hardly a pin on the side of an iceberg. So actually, the perspective that it's gone everywhere to everyone, I believe is a gross misconception. We have a lot of work to do. And if you look at how many Bibles have gone out in comparison to how many Bhagavad Gitas have gone out, even though millions of Bhagavad Gitas have gone out, it's hardly like a small drop in the ocean. We have a lot of work to do. Putting this aside now, coming back to your point of, so should we offer respect to everyone, right? Why not? It is said that one should think oneself lower than the straw in the street. Tranadapi suniche. Su means, yes, very much. Yes, means very much. Suniche, very niche, very small. Su. Superman, super small. We should have super humility. Torur api sahishna. Then we should be more tolerant than the tree. Amanina, manavena, ready to give all respect to others, not desiring any respect for oneself. And such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We should offer respect even to an ant. I would like to share with you my favorite moments from Harinam Sankirtan last night, which you're just reminding me now of. I completely forgot about this. So in downtown Brisbane, there are many homeless people. And many of them are in fully like insane, crazy, to a high degree states of mind. They're dirty, they're unshaved, they're disheveled, they're mad, they're totally mad. As the Harinam party went by last night, one very strange looking man with lots of hair on his face and his head looks like not had showered in months. And dirty clothes, like sleeping in front of the shop. And as the Harinam party was going by, can you hold this for a second? He was going like this. And seeing that, I also went like this. And seeing me do like that, he went lower. He went more lower. And Suniche. And then I went lower. And he went lower. And both of us had so much ecstasy and bliss from this exchange. It was so wonderful. So that was probably the happiest moment of my day yesterday. Was besides seeing all the Vaishnavas after having not seen them for a long time, meeting Vaishnavas. But that was the greatest moment of my day, offering respect to someone who ordinarily would not be deemed in the material world to be worthy of any respect. And he was respecting the devotees, Vaishnavas. So that really, it really warmed my heart and it made me feel very blissful. And yes, I'm starting to imbibe to some degree the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, that I could at least externally do my best to offer respects to someone ordinarily no one would offer any respect to. And I was feeling some reciprocation in my heart, some happiness from having the opportunity to do that. So should we offer respects to everyone?
No. What I mean to say, not should. Technically, we should offer respect. So generally, when we become devotee, before devotees, we are better. When we come to Krishna consciousness, we accept everyone respectfully. But as we grow, become devotee more in Krishna consciousness, then we start judging. So the problem, that's where, because I am in movement now for nearly 20 years, so the judgment comes, okay, this person is not devotee or is not, as you were saying, that automatically pops up and it stops us to respect. But this point, what you are mentioning today, actually, it's not that we actually should respect everyone. I'm not asking, should I? We should respect. Thank you for clearing the point.
Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, 1, 2. Go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful class, especially in the music. It was absolutely nice. I got a different experience of hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. My question about the words today. We hear that Vidura is planning to go back to Hastinapur to see his kinsmen and give Krishna consciousness. But in the current generation, it's very hard to actually preach to your own family members. And you're always told that do not preach to your family, but just be what you are and practice Krishna consciousness. And they get inspired by looking at your sadhana itself, because they have seen you up and down, everything right from the beginning of your life. So, what is your advice or suggestions on teaching to your own family members?
First of all, thank you for your kind question. If I understand your question properly, you're asking how to preach to your own family members, how to help your family advance. So one slight misconception also I want to try to adjust is that you said in today's day and age, it's very difficult to preach to our family members. It's not just today's day and age. It's always been difficult. Preach to one's family. It said it's very difficult to be a guru in one's own family. But, and I can share that it is possible. We can help them in different ways. The first and foremost way we can help them is to feed the Sri Krishna Prasadam. Because by taking Sri Krishna Prasadam, one becomes purified. Srila Prabhupada says, when we offer Bhoga to Krishna, the Bhoga becomes Krishnized. It becomes karma free. and it becomes devotional service by accepting that prasadam. So if we can give Krishna prasadam to our relatives and they accept it, we're engaging them in devotional service.
Pushpam phalam toyam.
Bhaktya prayatsati Ashnami prayatatmana. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text number 26, Krishna says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or water, I will accept it. So we can offer flowers to Krishna, and we can offer the flowers to our family members. Water, everyone's drinking water. That's not an over exaggeration. Everyone drinks water. So except bed bugs. So we can offer water, offer them to our family members. Pushpam phalam, fruits we offer to Krishna, we can offer to our family members. Leaves, tulsi leaves, we can put them in prasadam also. And then by exhibiting this loving behavior, it's also a loving exchange. We discussed 6 loving exchanges. So one of them, bhukte bhojayate chaiva, giving and receiving prasad. So we give them prasad. This is a loving exchange. And then our family members can be gradually purified by receiving Krishna prasadam. Prabhupada said, Krishna prasadam is our secret weapon. And gulab-jamans are ISKCON Brisbane. We feed our family members very nicely, Krishna prasadam. We can see sometimes transformation. We try to also behave nicely. Yad yad acharati shreshtas. Whatever example we set, people will be influenced by that. I remember my mother, when I first became a Hare Krishna devotee, she was a little bit nervous. She was like, is this a cult? She was like quite concerned. But then after she had caught a very deadly disease of cancer, and she was having a big operation. I was in the UK, in London at that time, distributing books. I found out she was having the operation. I consulted with some of my senior devotees there, and they said, you're the only son. You should go on and help. And in 1 or 2 days, I was on a flight to New York. I was with her in the hospital when she was having her operation. And every day I would go after she stabilized. I stayed in the ISKCON temple in New York. And every day I'd bring big Radha Govinda flower garlands with roses, huge. I'd bring them for her, bring her prasadam. And her heart was changed because she could see that I really cared for her. So it's not, people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So I was expressing that care so she could see I'd become a better person by becoming a Hare Krishna devotee. And that melted her heart to such an extent that the next time there was a New York Rath Yatra, she came with my father and my 2 sisters for New York Rath Yatra. Swami ki. And then we see examples of a great personality like His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj. Now his whole village had become devotees, and he initiated his 3 brothers and his sister. So we see, even if we do it properly under the guidance of Vaishnavas, and we have the mercy of Krishna, then nothing is impossible. Does that answer your question?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And also, I do hear that in Vaikuntha every word is a song. So like in that experience.
Every step is a dance. Every day is a festival. Okay, last point, then we'll go for Prasadam festival.
Thank you for this transcendental experience. Maharaj, I have a question on Harinam. As you said, the importance of Harinam. So many people are waiting for to listen to Mahamantra. again, as a grihasthas and serving temple in capacities, around capacities and managing kids. So keeping Harina on Friday nights, going and attending becomes a bit hard. But like that's an excuse that I do, but I struggle a lot to go to Harinam as well, Maharaj. So what can we do? Like, because again, next morning we have service, night we have service. So how can we get motivated to go often?
How to get motivated to go often for Harinam? Of course, we also need to see what's practical. You have so many services for the temple, you're doing puja and different things for the temple, maybe cooking, and this is also part of Harinam. You know, we're a holistic movement. And some people are cooking, some people are cleaning, some people are distributing books, some people are giving lectures, some people are going for Harinam, some people are raising their children in Krishna consciousness, which is so important. And Srila Prabhupada said, your children are your first deities. They need to be taken care of. So there's so many priorities. And Harinam is part of it. If you can give some time for Harinam, Srila Prabhupada encouraged it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged it. Chaito Darpanam Archanam Bhava Mahadava Nirvarpanam Shreya Taira Vachampika Upanam Vidya Vadujir Anandam Buri Vardhanam Pratiparam Purna Amrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snaphanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. It gives us Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. It's the ever-expanding ocean of bliss. And Purna Amrita Swadanam. It gives us a taste for the nectar we're always anxious for. So what keeps us in Krishna consciousness? A higher taste. Param Drisva Nivartate. So we get our higher taste by serving the Lord, whether it's through puja, through cooking, through caring for our Krishna conscious children, through book distribution, through going to our job and earning wealth and giving that wealth for temple, giving that wealth for maintaining our ashrams. We get a higher taste from serving Krishna. And for me personally, the easiest access I have to a higher taste is dancing down the street, and some drunk person with total disrepair comes out and then comes off the street and starts offering his pranams, and I'm offering my pranams and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you go for Harinam Sankirtan, do you feel a higher taste? Yes. So out of self-care, out of devotee care, in order to sustain all of your other services, it would be helpful for you to go for Harinam Sankirtan. It's like eating Krishna Prasad. One time devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, you're saying we should go to India twice a year, Vrindavan festival, Mayapur, it's so expensive. If we don't go, we can use all that money to build a huge temple. Wouldn't that be better, Srila Prabhupada? And Srila Prabhupada said, you all eat so much prasadam. If we didn't go shopping for boga, we'd save so much money. We could build a huge temple. But should we stop feeding you? And the devotee said, no, Srila Prabhupada, we have to feed the devotees. So similarly, you can look at going for Harinam Sankirtan is like self-care, feeding to sustain. It's an investment in your spiritual life so that you can do all of your other services happily, blissfully, and getting the mercy of Lord Krishna. Does that answer your question? Thank you very much. Prabhu, any words you'd like to share before we conclude? Any thoughts? Thank you. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Shri Gauri Thai ki.
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan ki.
Ki Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta ki.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bo. Jai.
And I have some good news for all of you. In the interests of Vedanta Pratigrinati, William Akiti Prachiti, I have some gifts for you. I have some single oil, Maya Pur, and I have some Harinam Mahamantra stickers in blue and few in red. I think just a couple left in red. So please come and accept these gifts out of love from me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Quick Dasha.
Jai. Nice darshan. Thank you for the darshan, Mataji. Nice, beautiful. Jai.
Ribo.
Thank you.
Oh, what?
Amazing.